Hello, my name is Colby Sharp. I am a fifth grade teacher in Michigan, and I am so excited because we are moments away from the American Library Association announcing the winners of the 2021 Youth Media Awards. It is one of the most exciting days in children's literature, and the awards will be announced Monday, January 25th. I'm so excited. The awards that I'm most excited for are the ones that kind of have my heart because of the books that are in them, and that is the Caldecott Medal, which goes to the top illustrated book for young readers, and the Newbery Medal, which goes to the top written book of the year for that 14 and under age range. This year it seems like it's gonna be a little bit different because of COVID. Like everything is different because of COVID. So I'm guessing that these award committees are meeting 100% virtually over the weekend. I'm guessing that means that they never got a chance to deliberate and debate books in person. And as someone who does not love Zoom, I just can't imagine what it is like trying to have these important and difficult conversations in a Zoom meeting or whatever web platform they're using to discuss this. And I keep wondering if it will affect the outcome, right? Because it's different when you're having a conversation in person than when you're having it virtually. Just like if one group of 15 people have a conversation about which books are most distinguished, and a different people have a conversation about which books are most distinguished, it is possible, it is likely that the two different groups could come to different conclusions. And I'm wondering, I don't know, I'm wondering if that could play a part in the books that win this year. I'm not saying it makes them any less distinguished or any less deserving. It could make them more deserving. Maybe this gives more people a chance to have a voice in the room. I don't know. I just know it's going to be super interesting. And I want to share with you my picks. The books that I'm thinking have a really good shot to be honored Monday morning, and books that I hold near and dear to my heart after a year of reading a lot of children's books. If you're watching this video after January 25th, you are watching a video of someone who got a bunch of predictions wrong, I'm sure. So hopefully you can still get something out of that. But without further ado, here are my picks. Let's start off with the Caldecott Medal. I'm going to start with the book that I think is going to win the whole darn thing. We Are Water Protectors by Carol Lindstrom. And the art, the person that I think is going to win the Caldecott Medal, Makala Goad. This book is amazing. I love it. It's distinguished. The art is captivating. The story is wonderful. You just can't get enough of this book. It's one of those books you just have to reread and just stare at the pictures. I'll show you my favorite picture in the whole book is this two-page spread right here. I just couldn't get enough of this book. I loved reading it aloud to my students. I love the message. I think it's powerful. I think it's beautiful. I think it's important. I think it's timely. I think it's distinguished. My pick for the 2021 Caldecott Medal. We Are Water Protectors. Oh, I love this book so much. I would be shocked if it doesn't win at least an honor. So beautiful, so good. This book is one that I read early in the year. I think I maybe even read an advanced copy. I'm like, wow, I'm just blown away. This is just beautiful and creative and different and fun and a little bit funky. It's in a jar. It's by Deborah Marcero. And I'll just take you inside just a little bit so you can just get a feel. I love the colors that are used. I love the pacing. You have multiple times where you have this comic feel, where you get a chance to see a lot of change over time. And then you have art like this, seriously. If you haven't read this book in a jar, you are really, really missing out. Deborah has done just a wonderful, wonderful job with this book. I guess maybe it doesn't feel like your typical Caldecott book, but I think that's a beautiful thing about the Caldecott Committee. You never know what you're going to get. I don't know, I just got a good feeling about this one. I absolutely loved it. It's beautiful in a jar, so good. Next up, I have not actually seen this on all of the Caldecott list and stuff, but I just can't stop thinking about it. I love it. I just think it is brilliant. I think Frank Morrison has captured Elgin Baylor's story so well. It's Above the Rim, how Elgin Baylor changed basketball in a year where basketball had such a huge impact on the world. I think that this book is just beautiful, and I think that it's got a real shot at winning the Caldecott Medal. If you're not familiar with Elgin's story, well, you should read this book, but I don't know. I just couldn't get enough of it. The art is so beautiful. I love reading it with kids. The NBA did some really amazing things this year. And this book just helped me to see like their place in culture and their place in society and their place in real issues that matter in the world. And I just think that this book is stunning. So, yeah, who knows if a nonfiction book will take home the top prize. This one's got a real shot. And the other book that I have is Honeybee by Candace Fleming and Eric Roman. I thought that they had a real shot. I'm looking for it on my shelf. I thought that they had a real shot with the book Giant Squid that they had written before. And this is similar in just this beautiful story of nature and the honeybee and its role. There's this gatefold that is just, I just can't stop picturing it and thinking about it. And I just thought it was one of the most beautiful things that I saw in a book all year. So yeah, this is a winner. This is a gorgeous book. And right here. Check this out. Can you see that? And he is just so amazing. So those are my picks for Caldecott. I would be shocked to not see the old truck on there too. I didn't grab that one from my shelf, but I think that one has got a huge shot at winning, and we'll just really expect that one to be called. Now we're going to talk about the John Newbery Medal, my favorite award. I love this award. I think it's so exciting to see what's going to win. I have 4 books that I want to tell you about today. The first one is All 13 by Christina Soontornvat, the incredible cave rescue of the Thai boys soccer team. I knew the story, right? Like many of us followed it on the news. We knew that all 13 of these soccer players were rescued. We know the story. We followed it. We were on the edge of our seats for a long time. So all right, I'll read the book. Yeah, she seems like a cool author. People are talking about it. Mind blown, captivating. Couldn't believe how exciting it was. I couldn't believe how I was all in on all of the different storylines, from the boys stuck in the cave to the community members trying to help to these divers being brought in from all over the planet to try to help. Like, I just was on the edge of my seat the entire time. And if you can do that on a nonfiction story where so many people already know kind of generally what happened, that is distinguished, my friend, and this book is phenomenal. All 13, one of my all-time favorite narrative nonfiction middle grade books. I loved it so very much. Next up, Jason Reynolds, Ibram Kendi, Stamped, Racism, Anti-Racism in You. I don't know, the most important book written for young readers in 2020. So good, so important. And like, I just feel like in the moment we're in, I wouldn't be surprised to see a whole plethora of stickers on this book. And you think, like, is it too old for Newbery? And you think about like the 13 and 14-year-old reader. And, you know, Jason's won the Newbery honor before. I wouldn't be surprised to see him be a part of a team that takes home the gold medal this year. I don't know how that would work with 2 authors like that, but I know that this book is special. I know that this book is awesome. I know that the award would get it into the hands of even more kids, and that makes my heart happy. I can't think of a book that was more talked about in 2020. I can't think of a book written for young readers that had more of an impact in 2020. Stamped. You never know. It'll be interesting. Next up, When Stars Are Scattered by Victoria Jameson and Omar Mohammed. This graphic novel, friends, is just so important and so well done. And to get to experience a real-life refugee story through Victoria's pictures, through Omar's story, their teamwork here. I can't even imagine what it was like to work on this book together. Wow. Like, I feel like refugees are often a pretty tricky thing to talk to kids about, and I think kids have a hard time understanding, especially like the kids that I teach, where we all kind of look like me for the most part, and we kind of live in this small town, which is like our own little world, it feels like, and to know that this stuff is going on, and to read about this, and to be able to understand it through the eyes of someone who lived it. Holy smokes. Wow, and Victoria Jameson won a Newbery honor for Roller Girl, so she's been to the ball before. We'll see if she gets a chance to dance again. It'll be interesting. Would not be surprised. I would actually say of all of the books that I have, this is the one that I feel like is the most likely to be honored by the committee. I just think it's so special and so good. And it's been on like all of the lists, all the different kinds of lists, and it's starting to feel Newbery. Isn't that amazing? I can say something is starting to feel Newbery. That is a graphic novel, with New Kid winning the medal, with Victoria winning the honor for Roller Girl, with Cece Bell winning the honor for El Defo. What a world we live in. Graphic novels, y'all. Graphic novels. Holy smokes! Nonfiction. 3 nonfiction books. Well, I will end with Kimberly Brubaker Bradley's story, Fighting Words, Della's story. Just the way that she's able to write this book out of anger, out of passion. This story is haunting and distinguished and powerful. And Della is a character that everyone who read her in 2020 and in the years to come will never forget her, will never forget her story. And the impact on the world that could happen if a book like this, that looks at children being sexually abused, sexually assaulted, a book written for them, a book for them, a book for all of us. Just can't imagine the impact that it would have if we could get the shiny sticker on this, if we get it into the hands of more readers. I think that would make the world a better place. I think all of these books bring so much to the world, and I'm so excited to see what the committees decide to select. I know their job is hard. I know it is even harder in a year like this than a pandemic. So I wish them well. I wish them good luck. I wish good luck to all of the books. And remember, after the awards are announced, all of these books are still just as magical. All of the Caldecott books that I talked about are just as magical and just as important, and all of the other books published in 2020. This doesn't change anything. There's still stories that we can share forever and ever and ever. I can't wait to see it wins. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Colby Sharp. I hope you have an awesome, fantastic day.